Hello, hello, hello. Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is Monday, July 8th at 8 o'clock in the morning. It is early. Sorry for coming early. I got to get myself back on regular track. I've been going to sleep at like 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. and I just wake up at 4. So I'm halfway through the day. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Great.
Good?
You?
I saw some stuff this morning that I want to share with everybody. I want to see how everybody feels about it.
Nice.
I'm interested.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
excited about it. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Monkey. I'm just gonna start your day off early. Sorry for Bree not being here today for after party. She'll be here the following week. She's still a little bit sick, feeling a little bit better. She's still nasally and raspy. She should be on tonight for Beat Saber, but other than that, we are going to continue the show because the show must go on. Who sings that song? The show must go on.
Show must go on. Isn't
Is that Queen? No.
Queen?
I don't think it's Queen, is it? Nobody?
No. You got it?
No,
Yeah, the show must go on. It's Queen.
It's Queen? Okay, very good. That's it. It's Queen.
Hey, good job, panel. Good job.
Very good. You guys are all over it. Would you like me to zero in on our faces so we're more systematic, or should we keep it this way where we have absolutely nothing going on the top and the bottom? Or should I add the fourth guest?
Oh,
Get
Bob?
Harry.
Is Bob
Harry.
back?
Yeah, no, Barry. Barry's back.
Oh, it's Barry.
There he
Oh,
is.
Harry got
What's up,
back.
Barry?
hey
Barry's
Barry.
back.
How are you feeling today?
I think he's got a sore throat.
Barry is okay.
Yeah, he's got a sore throat. How are you feeling tonight, Matty?
Okay.
I feel you. We get older, we have more things to complain about, am I right?
Okay. Not great. Not worse
Still,
than
you
yesterday.
don't have the fever no more, right?
My eyes hurt less than yesterday, so that's a positive thing. So you know when you're feverish and you have that tired
Sure.
and burning
Sure.
and aching behind the headache is less. So
So there you
I'd
go.
say-
You could still talk about it and not complain about it. There you go. I like the new Matty. But do you think it could be possible that it's psychosomatic? That you feel it because I'm sick?
it was weird though, wasn't it?
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
It's a little weird considering you don't leave your house. When I got sick, you got sick.
But
See?
it's phlegm and everything, so that's not
same.
actually psychosomatic.
Okay.
That's a little
It's
hard.
that long email you sent me, Jay. You infected me with that virus.
I did it.
I mean,
They did it.
yeah.
All right. So I'm going to share a clip. That is, well, let's just run with it, shall we? This is it's a classic. It's a classic, but a goodie. Let's go on and get it. Well, I don't know if it's a goodie. I should probably stop myself before I get ahead of myself.
It's definitely a classic.
Okay, here we go.
Coming for to carry me. Oh, I come from the south, from way down south, where the corn and taters used to grow. There's great big elegant. Come on, carry me home. Oh, I come, sweet chariot. Listen here, you won't let me speak. Don't you know the Swanee River is a dried up creek? Come on and carry.
Talk about tanned, huh? There's some serious sunburn. Whew.
Like, what's up? Like, what's up with that? Like, what is that? So,
That's a grade A makeup artist. That's what that is.
wait, why are their lips so white?
I thought it was because it was a black and white picture. they didn't have color, so I don't think they bothered with the red.
So I was going through the comments, right?
Maddie.
I don't know. Me and Maddie think it's entirely too funny. So I look. Do I think? Do I think it's racist? First off, I thought it was a black person at first. Like I did when I saw it. I didn't know that it was blackface. So, do you think that when they did it, legit question, all jokes aside, do you think that when they did it out of comedy? Or
Yes.
did they did it,
Yeah.
or did they do it out of satire?
Ooh.
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
Oh, so satirical comedy.
Yeah.
That's Judy Garland? Isn't she from Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's before Wizard of Oz, right?
I think so.
Was she trying out for the Scarecrow?
That's a great audition tape, I can tell you that.
So okay. So us looking back on it. Is that acceptable? And of course, society's going to say no.
It's always nice when you one up everybody else.
They're going to say no.
But
What
if you look
makes
at
it
it in the time
unacceptable?
frame, if you look at it in the time frame, but because that's what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to look at it in that society, in that time frame where it was made. It's not that.
But even then, in the 30s, was it acceptable? Slaves are
Oh, I
gone.
think so. I think so.
So, I mean, what is she?
Weren't
What is
that
she
many-
supposed to be acting like a slave, right? I mean, she's singing the lyrics of something a slave would sing.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Slave. It's kind of parody or kind of comedy satire on what they say, how they think, what they do.
So, what was your question, Jordan, about looking back at history? Thank you,
Oh,
David.
my original question was: has humankind always done that? Go back in time and then criticize it or judge it, even though it wasn't in your own time period.
World War II. It's a great example. Hitler, Nazis.
World War II. Yeah, but that's okay. But that's a completely different crime. We're talking about small peanuts.
But it's crimes against humanity, right? It's crimes against
This
people.
isn't a crime. Yeah, this isn't. This is you getting offended. Nobody died. It's not the same level, right? You getting offended.
I don't
by
think it's a
something
matter of it
that-
being on the same level. I think it's a matter of us judging a part of a time of an era that is before us. That was a question. You said, is there anything else that we look back at history and say that shouldn't have been done? Sure. You could say there's lots of things like that. Whether or not that specifically. So here's my thing, right? We could look at that, and black people, some black people have a good sense of humor. We'll find humor in that because of the little time. Look, they even made dolls, little black dolls. I'm not gonna say what they're called, but they made black dolls. I'm gonna stop there, but they made those, and those were designed to. I honestly
Make
don't
you
know
feel
what
happy.
they're designed for. To say that you own the black person, I guess.
I
Like
would
a
because you
collectible.
couldn't anymore.
Like you get a
Expensive
trophy when
collectible.
you get your black man at the black market. You get a trophy that says that here is a mock-up of your guy, but in a doll form.
Wait. So you're trying? Wait. So it's kind of like vaping. We're trying to wean people off, so you can't own one.
But this is the
officially
closest
anymore.
that
Think
you
about
can
this.
get.
Yes. Oh, that's
You can-
kind of nice.
You can't own one. You can have the action figure.
Yes. It's no different than you getting a G.I. Joe or a Superman. right? You just so let's talk about that. Because this is usually a gray area that nobody ever wants to talk about. Why is it acceptable that you can't do blackface, which we all know? Even, what do you got? Dirty Pete? What's his name? Stinky Pete?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Pete.
Black Pete. Okay. Chimney Pete. Smoky Pete. Oh, I could say something, but that is edgy. I had a good one that rhymed with Pete, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Ashy feet Pete. And so if you look at that, right, one could argue and say that is unacceptable because you are mocking a race. Yes. So how come you can watch White Chicks? That's a modern movie where black people play white people and white people love that movie. But if we watch something that is not only dated for its time, but is satirical comedy, which is what we're saying that is, why is that any different?
It isn't. And like in our case, it doesn't. The Black Pete, it has a different origin, so it isn't.
But I'm talking about Judy Garland dancing up there like
but it's to some people it's all the same. While it isn't historically, it's different. I mean, Judy Garland thing. There weren't that many black actors way back.
Did she get a lot of shit for doing that? Like later on, does anybody know?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
When did Judy Garland die?
Ooh.
90s, 80s?
80s probably.
So why can't we do that now then?
Because of
cultural appropriation. When?
1969.
So she would have definitely not saw the wrath of society or cancel culture. She would have not seen that. It would have had to have gone on to even the 90s. I think they would have let it go. Early 2000s, right? 2000 teens, probably.
Yep.
And at that point, she'd have been old as shit or dead. So, go ahead, Maddie. What were you saying?
Well, it's not that. Well, it is long, further back, but even female roles were played by male actors. Has been, and it's not just one country. In history, there was an entire time period where actors were only male, and even the female roles were played by male actors. So, what's the difference between that? Are we gonna? Are all women gonna go? Oh, boo!
I was originally going to say it's not a good point because you're talking about a gender versus a race. Well, not a race, but a type of human, because there's only one race, right? The human race. But we'll just say race for lack of better words. But women at one time were treated less than men. They didn't have equal opportunity. So what's really the difference of someone? I guess because someone could say that, well, women now are more on an equal playing field, but then I could use the counter argument and say, well, so are black people.
Yeah, but both kind of want equality of outcome instead of equality of opportunity, right?
So you have someone that knows about Black Pete or Zwart Pete in chat. Yeah, but either way, they're still canceling them in Belgium, in Europe, regardless.
Yeah, and that's what we changed it into. That's not the history of it. That's what we changed into now. Now it's a white dude that is covered in ashes, and we're explaining it to kids because he has the ashes from climbing through the chimney. That's not the original story. He bought them, and he bought them free, and then he decided to still work for him. That's the origin.
Well, they got
wait. Say the story of Black Pete again.
You can correct me if I'm wrong, Matthew. That's what I remember. They were slaves. He bought them. It was a holy man, and they decided to work for him. He paid them, but they were still black.
Yeah.
Oh, so the chimney part is made up
That's after
Yeah.
the fact. That's how we changed it into, so it
to
became
make it
more
more
woke and more
appropriate?
acceptable.
Get
Yes.
the fuck out of here. For real?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And
Because
Saint
originally they
Nick,
were all black, like the Judy Garland, with it was usually white people dressing up like that, completely black, which I always felt if I was a black person, I would be more offended that now white people are taking my job. I could do naturally without any makeup, but that's another discussion. It was white people dressing up, doing the lipstick and everything, dressing up like Black Pete, and it was slaves that were bought and given their freedom, and they decided to work for the holy man and
So
give
black.
when
out.
did they
It's
change that story to the ashes? I guess somewhere along the
2010.
line,
That was
someone was like, this is...
one of the things that actually rolled in a little bit, but it wasn't. I don't think it was on purpose. It was like, yeah, okay, he's also black, but because one of the songs goes, uh, he's black as soot, I think. The
Yeah,
description of it, and that's where it came from crawling down the chimney and whatever. So, but they, like Jordan said, they weren't even slaves. The guy really existed, Saint
Sure, sure.
Nicholas.
But so it's funny because Americans will bring that up like that's part of our upbringing. I never heard of Black Pete until I started having hazers all over all over the world. I never knew about it. I just think it's interesting that you can do it one way, but you can't do it the other way. That's a little hypocritical, no?
Dude, we got
what
Rainbow Pete now.
Rainbow Pete.
Yeah.
So I guess he swam in some Skittles to deliver presents. Is that right?
Am I? I'm not kidding. We've got Rainbow Pete now, or like with just two little stripes of black on the face, and the rest is all white.
yeah, but can you do the stripes? Because that to me is then disrespectful to the Native Americans. Because isn't that like war paint or
No,
something like that?
but it's just a little bit of black.
It sounds risky. You're gonna get canceled for that. It sounds risky. Remove
Well,
it.
then, well, the one has the feather in the cap as well, right? The
Yeah,
main guy,
see?
he has a
So you
feather
got
in
an
his cap,
Indian
so-
Pete too?
Nah,
Does
Jordan
Pete
might be
mean
onto
something, or is that their names?
Name. That's
But then why
the
does
name,
there
right?
why is there 50 different versions of the same fucking dude? Does he not know what he wants? Does he wake up every day and change? I want to be black today. Today I want to be rainbow.
No. He has a slew of helpers or colleagues, and there's also
Colleagues, nice.
a hierarchy. Let's say a hierarchy. You have different sorts of Black Pete's. The ones that do the packing, the ones that do the checking, the ones that do.
Okay.
So it's
Make
like
the toys. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
diverse.
toys.
It's diverse now.
yeah.
There's a hierarchy in place.
Okay, so can you think of any movies where black people played white people aside from white chicks?
White people play black people. Yeah.
No.
Good.
Black people playing white people, like white chicks.
Straight from no. I had to look it up. What size white chicks? No.
The only one I could think of is white chicks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they made a second one too, didn't they?
Did they?
I thought so.
Yeah, I think there is a
I
second
think they
one.
did. I could be wrong.
Or they were gonna make a second one.
No, it's in the books. It's confirmed. 2025.
Okay, so there you go. So okay, great example. 2000. Is this confirmed? I don't need just one
Yes.
link.
IMDb. IMDb.
Oh, okay, all right,
it's
so it's
on
confirmed, right?
IMDb.
Now this comes out. Black people playing white people. If I
Let's
made a
fix
movie
that.
being
Yep.
a black dude that drinks Hennessy, and I do shit that black people do, and I make a comedy out of it, and it's called White Dudes, right? Or Black Dudes. Would that be acceptable because I am making a comedy out of black dudes wait, hear me out, that I'm making a comedy out of black dudes of what they drink, smoke weed and shit, talk hood, drive some Lincoln Cadillacs with some suicide doors. I fit the cue. So I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. The only difference is that I am white playing black versus they are black playing white.
Nope, wouldn't work.
Okay. That is not only hypocritical, that is wrong. And I know what the argument's going to be is, well, white people enslave black people. Okay, white people enslave white people. Black people enslave black people. So in theory, black people can't even play black people.
Nope. They should hate their own brothers and sisters, because before Europeans went to the continent, they enslaved other tribes. They already had
Europeans
slaves.
even enslaved Native Americans. That's their fucking land. Like, not only did we take it over, we were like, you know what? You're gonna come work for me, and you're not gonna get paid. I'll give you a pig head, and that's what you get.
But it all started. It's not like a white man went into the continent and like went in search of slaves. It started with tribes. Oh, we have a plethora of slaves. We can sell them to the white man. So it actually started with black people selling to white people. That's what.
Okay, if the argument is that a white man can't be a black person, it's cultural appropriation, right? Okay, fine. So then why can a black person play a white person?
So, but
it's a simple question.
But in the case of the movie you just described, we as white people should all protest the movie and have it taken down.
I don't think so. I don't think it's a big deal. You want to play white dude? You want to play a white fat dude that eats McDonald's? I don't give a shit.
See, but
even if it's a comedy skit, I don't care.
I think that's where the problem lies. I think overall, it comes down to, as a group, we don't get as offended as easily as the minorities are.
Maybe because we weren't. Well, see, this is difficult for you guys because you're not American, right? I know, Jordan, you're working on it, but you're still not American.
Yeah, no.
However, maybe because God, I am reaching here. Maybe because we cannot relate because we ourselves were not slaves, and neither were you. Our family was slaves, but our families. See, this is rough because I'm a Hungarian, and my family record is very not good. We sided with the Nazis to the end. So I don't have a really good track record as being a Hungarian. But I will say this. I'm sure at some point in time, Hungarians were slaves to somebody.
Everyone was.
I mean, honestly, I'm pretty ashamed that I don't know the history of that. But I'm pretty sure we were. So should I hold whatever held us as slaves accountable for what happened to my ancestors? No. I don't see the big deal.
Because you just explained it, so you know what the deal is, and you don't go like, oh, I need reparations. That's a mindset. And
victim mindset. The world owes you something.
Yeah, trying to get something out of people that, dude, unless you've been a slave.
So, this is rough. Just a quick search, no good.
Yeah.
No. Just a quick search. Hungarians were never slaves. However, the word hunky, the racist term, I don't know if you guys know that, it's originated by a Hungarian cheap labor, because they did hire Hungarians a lot for cheap labor, but we still got paid. But then again, even if you're a black slave and you got paid by soup, are you not getting paid?
Oh.
I get it. It's not, you can't go barter with that, but it's still some form of payment.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you do with your pay now, right? You buy shelter, you buy food.
I don't know if you just buy just soup, but
No, but that's a preference. That's a preference. You can buy whatever
If you
food
wanted
you
to
want.
just buy chicken noodle soup, you sure as in hell could. With some bread and some sesames and whatever, right? Celeries. I don't know. I honestly, that's one thing I do not understand is why people get so upset over that. It is funny. I don't care. You could see, I got to pull the shit when I run for some political stuff. I'm just saying that watching that, the way she sings is very ethnic, and it works well. And she plays the part well. I don't think, and if you read the comments on that, when you guys get the chance, go to my Facebook, click the original thing, and look on the right. The amount of black people that are irritated at that blows my mind.
But they're irritated at everything.
So I should go around to all the movies that have suicide in it because that plays close to my heart and I have emotions to that, and tell them they should cancel it because my daughter decided to put a belt around her neck. Is that how that works? It's relatable, right? I know what that's like. I've been through that. That's not funny. Don't make a joke out of that. No? If anything, mine's a whole lot worse than that.
Yeah. That's
a life loss.
A lot closer to home as well.
But guess what? That's part of the movies. They idolize it. I don't know. They put it in everything. They put it in games. It's part of a thing. That's it. Accept it. But why be so sensitive?
They always talk about racism, but like we said before, it's the black people that react that way that perpetuate the racism or the idea of racism.
Also, it'll keep it alive too, right? Because if it angers you and motivate and whatever gets you pissed off, it's like a comedian. If I'm working with a dead audience, right, I have to change the subject. But if I have even a boo reaction, I have your attention now, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think we should go back to that. Yes. Yes, I truly do. Bring on the white chicks. Bring on the Tropic Thunders. There's some serious comedy in the generalization of people. Asians being bad drivers, Mexicans being lawn workers or illegals. Everything should be laughed about. That's where we all come together.
See, but I don't think it could be racist if it's true.
It's not racist.
Right?
It's generalizations.
Right, but even generalizations, it's true. When you look at Asians, they are bad drivers. That is statistically proven. But if you say that, you're racist. Why? I'm not saying...
But it's all because of the fear of offending people. But in reality, you got offended. Boo-hoo. What happened? Nothing. It's you. You got offended. Get over it and get on with your life.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true, Matthew. The reason why it's no longer true is because you could get offended and then it would be, you go on your way, you cry. But for some reason, along the line, we as a society went, oh, what's wrong? Can we do anything to fix that little frown of yours? We'll remove it. And that's what's wrong with it. We started listening to the people that got offended and started changing things. It should have been, well, that seems like a you problem. We're carrying on. No, now we're stopping every single thing. If someone gets offended down the line, we're stopping and listening to what the problem is and taking the problem away. That's not solving anything.
That's a very slippery slope to get onto, because that could end up being like censor everything, because if you go down that road or down that path, you're going to get worse and worse and worse. And a guy wakes up one day and he's offended by yellow shoes, then we have to cancel all yellow shoes. Yeah, you're laughing, but that's what it's cut. And it's going to be movies.
It's what it is.
No more movies. Music, no more music, because it may offend somebody. What the lyrics may offend somebody. Books, no.
But the only people it has to offend in order for it to matter is when it is a collective, whether it's a minority or majority. It can't be just one person. It has to be multiple, right? Like all black people have to get offended in order for that to be offensive. One person might say, oh, that's, unless that's a person of power, a senator, congressman, whatever. What the fuck was that? Starting to
See, that
irritate
one
Jordan
cat,
now. The
that
cats,
one
the
cat is
cats are
trying to
starting
fix
to piss him
the
off.
problem already.
Starting to get angry by the cats. You guys are holding me back, and now you're making ruckus in my house. Keep it up. Keep it up. So if it can't be just one person though. It has to be multiple. For instance, yellow shoes. I don't like yellow shoes. Now, if I spread that rumor and we went crazy, we got 50,000 people that didn't like yellow shoes and made a whole protest about it, they would probably stop making yellow shoes. I mean, that's a low amount of people, but you get it. It can't be just one person. Now, if a president doesn't like yellow shoes, then that's going to affect the yellow shoe sales, right? Because that
I
is a
think it
person
can
or an
even be less.
influencer. So I'm going somewhere with this, like an influencer. So maybe when the internet came out, and when I say came out, I'm not even talking about the 90s or the 80s or the 70s. I'm talking about, I don't want to say social media, but it's close enough. AOL chat rooms. That was, late 90s, early 2000s. Even those, everything was fine. It's not till someone online where more people all over the world can see things, blackface is no longer okay. Right? Didn't you have a prince or some shit that did blackface? Or
President?
a president?
Yes.
The Canadian president, right?
No, Canadian president. Yep.
James Trudeau or
Trudeau.
whatever his name is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think he should be judged for that.
He wasn't even reprimanded by that. He didn't. It didn't.
Well, now he's all pro left side, so.
No, he's always been that way. Oh, not originally. Originally, it was actually when he forced cut.
Well, he hasn't always been that way because clearly he did blackface. So you haven't always been this way.
The blackface thing, that there's another aspect to it. Like most people that are offended, again, for the children argument is a big part of it, because the parents are offended for their children, and the weirdest part is children, they don't have a problem with it because they see it as the story or the fable or whatever it is. They don't associate the Black Pete thing with the black person that is next to them in the classroom or whatever. So it's adults again being offended instead of or in place of the children. It's misused again.
I don't understand why people I get why people get offended. I don't get why they want something done about it.
The worst part is those are the ones that are, yeah, but the most offended people are the immigrants that come from another place.
Like even gay people. Like if you don't like or even white people for that matter, if you don't like, I'm going to attack you guys for a second. If you don't like gay people, you don't like transgenders, then fine, move on. But because you talk about it, say it clearly offends you. You let it bother you. So it works on both ends. Like if I say, I don't understand furries. Obviously, we're doing this for commentary and giving us something to talk about. That's probably why I'm in theory offended that we can't do blackface anymore. So you understand? So no matter what, someone's offended. What action should be done? I guess you should look at history and say, well, it's okay because we did it before. But then if you erase history, it's bound to repeat itself, yeah?
If you don't,
yeah.
So if you removed all blackface writings and books, we could do it. It would be acceptable.
In a couple of years, yeah. I want to see the numbers because I'm going off of what we've
See the numbers of
Now come
black
to
people?
experience. See the numbers of
Yes.
black people? Yes. The same with the trans, the same with other things. I want to see numbers. And
Of people that get offended by blackface.
I think in
I bet
reality
you if
you
you
would be surprised.
I don't think so. I think if you did a tally of 5 million black people and you asked them if blackface was offensive, I'd be willing to bet 4 million out of that 5 would say yes.
They're all Americans, right?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's do that worldwide.
Yes. Oh.
Let's do black people,
Ooh.
diversify them, and do it worldwide and ask 1 million black people. I don't
Ooh.
think so. The ones that are going to get offended are the ones that are living in the most privileged country in the world.
I cannot argue that from either side. So entitlement.
It's you could call it entitlement. I think having experienced it. I've never lived there. I can be unbiased. Overall, of course, I'm privileged to doing my vacations in either your home or in a beautiful vacation home. So it's not really experiencing real life, but going off just the options you guys have, I think most Americans will probably underestimate the amount of freedom and liberties and choices and wealth that they have.
See, but that's gonna go away. If
How is
things
that
keep
gonna
up the
go?
way they're going, that's gonna go away. Just as the
If you're
blackface.
going the more socialist, communist route that the US is going on, yes, that will disappear. You will become a first world country that, on average, it's gonna be even more. The 1% is gonna have it well, and the rest is gonna be plummeted into poverty.
So how long before other cultural traditions get attacked?
Oh, it's already happening, right? Thanksgiving is one of them that is getting attacked.
Christmas over
It's,
here?
but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I do not understand. Nationalism has nothing to do with the color of your skin. And it's one of those things that I experienced for the very first time. Is it because I'm white that I think it's wholesome that everyone kind of stood still on the boardwalk and paid their respects to the national anthem? That to me,
I think, Matty, did you see how we Americans do that? You like that?
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and but you see on TV they'll tell you that that's not that's not how America is. The people are racist. They're not. Clearly, now you did see a lot of people, not a lot, but you would see people that would just ignore and just continue running with their hand on their heart. I don't think you understand what is playing right now. Like you.
Even though they asked you to stand still, even that was to me, wow, way more of a reaction that you would ever get in Belgium.
But it's already creeping up because it's starting to be a bad thing for a certain amount of people, or they don't care anymore. So it's already starting.
Yeah, because once you throw out your ideals, and now it's becoming a mishmash, or you don't really stand for anything anymore. Why would you be proud of your country? There's nothing wrong with being proud of your country, but the origin of it is mass immigration. That's the origin of America.
And then the worst part is the people that immigrate. The people that immigrate, they don't support the country they're in.
I'm not 100% sure that is the way that it is. That's how it's getting portrayed in the media. I'm willing to bet the biggest problem now, like we just pointed out, is the already existing population that wants to remove all the values that you have in place, especially the black people. Because if Jay is right now, that
You-
means those are the ones that want to. It's not the immigrants. It's not the Mexicans. The Mexicans are grateful that they come into a country that has so much wealth, that they can work, that they acquire a house. They're grateful. They're not going around changing all the values. No,
But I'm
that's not.
talking global scale. I'm talking global scale. It's the immigrants that do not support the country they're in.
Assimilate.
A lot of them,
Assimilate.
not all of them, but a
Are
big
you
chunk
saying
of
in
them.
Belgium or just in general?
I think
In general, in
Europe.
Belgium,
Europe.
it's a perfect example.
Yeah.
It's not the indigenous people that want Sharia law to be a real law. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not the indigenous people or the original people that don't like Christmas anymore, and there's not supposed to be any Christmassy music anymore in that period. And the stall has to be empty, or there has to be no stall in front of the church, or the crib has to be empty, and that's just attacking the
Okay,
tradition
but
that exists in the country and not supporting the country. If an immigrant comes to a country, like you said with the Mexicans, adapts to the customs, keeps his nose clean, works and pays taxes, he's welcome.
Mhm. But I have a theory about that as well, Matthew. I think those people are still appreciative. I think the problem comes later on. We're talking about second generation, third generation immigrants. The first generation is probably gonna be appreciative because they remember what was before.
But why is that second and third generation? Because
Because
of
they're getting it better.
new influences of people immigrating into the country that do not
Yep.
support the country, and they influence that second and third generation, and they're even worse than they were before. But that's
I look
always
at it
an
differently.
influence from people coming into the country.
Hold on, hold on. I'm trying to put myself in a position where if let's just say so I asked Jordan if you guys do that with your national anthem. Do people stop? Do they play it? Do they? And his answer was no. Can you confirm that, Matthew?
Yeah, only in the
Oh.
military and
Okay.
during.
So
speech.
we're saying even civilians at that point. So okay, that's a great point. Now, there's so many parts of this question. If civilians don't have that pride to be Belgian, right? Go up, they salute the flag, put their hand on their heart, or they just stand still. They stop moving, stop whatever they're doing. Then why should someone else come into the country and do that? Number one. Number two, if I'm trying to put myself in the position where I'm in Belgium and I hear your national anthem. Now I live there. I love it. I want to be in Belgium. Would I be looked at weird if I stood still at attention and saluted the national anthem in Belgium?
Maybe you're supposed to.
Sure, but you're saying even civilians don't do it.
Not as like everybody's dropping everything. and
Not
going
like what you
"No,
saw at Wildwood, right?
No.
Where everybody
But
stopped.
that's never
moving.
happened.
Okay,
No.
so that is typical of Americans, which is where
There
you
may have
have.
been a time where it was more prevalent, but since
So whose
See.
fault is that, though? Is that the immigrants' fault or is that the Belgians' fault?
I would say politicians.
well, sure,
I would say
it-
Belgians, because
it's gonna be-
politicians have fuck all to do with you standing for the national anthem. Those people down in Wildwood, that state is ran by a Democrat. That our country is ran by a Democrat. Okay, and I'm not saying that Democratic people are not patriotic. They're typically the Republicans are. But that being said, you can still be Democratic and be patriotic. So
Mhm.
there's nothing stopping you from doing it as a Belgian, right? You can't be prosecuted for doing it. So you could,
No,
in theory,
no.
just start doing it.
but I don't think it would be labeled as patriotic here.
What would it be
It's
called
more
then?
like chauvinistic pig, or it is gonna have a bad connotation,
Why?
even by
It'd be
politicians,
nationalism.
and even by it's nationalism, and it's not looked upon in the same way as it is in the States. doesn't help any that like in major cities like 60% is immigrant or more than 50% is immigrants who don't care about it. So you want to be the only one that goes like da, 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 da. Nope.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think we're already at the point that you speaking out on true Belgian values, morals, and
Yeah,
traditions has become racist.
yeah,
We're at
yeah,
that point. We're
100%.
already at that point.
Well, we were
You're
there. We
creeping
were
up to
there
it.
as well as Americans. That if you had a flag up, again, it depends on where you're at, right? Florida, you could shit. You can fly any flag you want outside of your house because you have that right. So it's interesting that I'm wondering, out of all the countries, I know North Korea clearly does it, but that's an extreme right. Um, but I'm wondering how many countries also do something similar to America, where your national anthem comes on and you stand up and you shut up and you don't talk. And could that be
Yeah, good.
instilled in people? And then the problem you have is, as if I moved to Belgium as an immigrant, would I have the same, assuming you have that patriotism, would I have that or be able to acquire that? Probably not. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal for me to put my hand over my heart or stand that attention or salute.
No.
I
So
think
it's almost
also
like I'm giving the immigrants a pass not to do it.
it's more of a, I think it in a way. So if your national anthem plays on TV in the comfort of your own home behind
Mm-hmm.
closed doors,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of Americans, in my the way I see it, a lot of Americans would
No,
stand to attention.
they would sit there. No, because then everybody watching the Super Bowl would stand up at the bar.
So
Or
they don't.
no,
I'm just saying over here, if the Belgian anthem goes on TV and it's behind closed doors, everybody's keister is staying in the sofa.
yeah, no, that's the same thing that would happen in America. And technically, anybody that served in the military, you don't really salute indoors anyway. So, would you stand up for the national anthem in your house? No, but everybody would shut up. I can tell you that much. They would pay the
But what
respect
about
to
the
the song being
people
played.
in? But what about the people that are actually watching it live? I see a lot of them
Oh,
that
alive!
actually.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
You would never see that.
Absolutely,
You wouldn't. You
absolutely.
wouldn't even
At
see
like a
that.
stadium or some shit, everybody's standing up. Some people are singing with it. Yeah, absolutely,
Oh, you wouldn't even see
absolutely.
that. Most of our athletes don't even know it. So if it plays like on
Yeah,
a soccer match or something, everybody's shutting up. But nobody
yeah,
knows the
they're
lyrics.
kind of lip syncing and trying to get away with it because,
So it's
uh,
not. It's not. It's also not shoved down your throat to be patriotic. It's just, this is our song, like other countries have, and do what you will with it.
it is it is
True.
politically easier if you have a population that isn't that way.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, agree. And what you're raised
Easier.
by, and if everybody in your family was military, you'll probably respect it a whole lot more, right? So, yeah, I'll agree with you. That I'm not giving an excuse for immigrants, but looking at it from all sides, there's probably a reason. But I don't know about you. If I'm going down that boardwalk and I see everybody standing still, I'm gonna feel like the retard at that point, and just stop and just do whatever they're doing. Mob
Yeah,
mentality, right? Like this.
yeah.
There's 3 million people on the boardwalk, and you're the only one running. Probably stop. I mean,
Well, you're gonna get looked at as the asshole that didn't stop.
Mm.
yeah. I
What's his
mean,
And
it's
problem?
it, and even then, like they played it on the speakers, Matthew. They ask you the whole for the national anthem. So they gave you this specific instructions on what to do. It's not. I thought it was beautiful. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, it
But
would be
maybe
better
that's
if more.
because I haven't experienced it. I don't know.
Maybe it would be better well, if some of that would rub off here, and we would have
Way
more
too
time.
late. Way too
Yeah,
late. Can't reverse that. And that's what, like you said, people, a population that isn't proud of anything is easier to just walk over to.
Yeah,
Because if you now are educating, what America is also trying to do, is that every value you hold dear and everything that makes Belgium unique is bad, well, then you can go ahead and diversify it. Mass immigrate a bunch of people. You don't even have your own identity at this point. It's just a blob with a flag, and then you can make it into whatever. It stands for nothing.
well, that's the entire united Europe, right? The end goal is no flags anymore,
Ah,
no nothing anymore, no specific indigenous to this country or this country. That it all melts in one gray mass, and then you have a couple of leaders that have totalitarian power over
this is
everything. That was a
I
big
can
one.
only speak for myself, but having traveled now a little bit more into the States and other European countries, you as well, Matthew, you probably you haven't been to the States, but you've been in multiple European countries. You gotta look within and actually tell yourself, we are the most passive, agreeable bunch of grumpy people you'll ever meet in your life. Jesus
That's why
Christ, we have our personal problems.
that's why they like us. That's why they like us so much as tourists.
Yes,
Because
everything is good.
we go to another country and we tend to adapt very easily and without any problems. We adapt to the customs. We will do what is necessary. We'll even try to
Sure.
speak the language. We'll,
That's true.
we'll make as less fuss as possible. And we spend money when we're in another country because we like to eat and we like to this. And that's why they like us. And that
That's
may
true.
sound silly, but that's the honest truth.
But we're passive. That's why I went with okay with all the immigrants and all that stuff. I don't see us getting up in not literal arms, but we don't get agitated. We
No.
complain a lot, but we're not doing anything.
Yeah, and
Not
then you get a
really.
white marsh or a white thing or two, and then yeah, that fizzles out. Nothing really happens, and then it's also a mentality problem. Like what was it just now? The soccer game. The Turks they won.
Oh, mm.
They
No,
they
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 lost.
burned
Isn't that why?
they burned down stuff in certain cities or villages. It was a riot because they won. I don't think that even happens in Turkey itself. But over here they can get away with it, so they do it.
Yeah, if your mood is getting affected by a sport, you have some serious issues. I'm just,
But they,
oh no, my team lost. Okay.
I dare to think what would have happened if they would have lost. They won for
Mm.
goodness' sake.
So you're saying
See,
the
overall,
military does it in Belgium? They stand when it plays?
yeah, you have to greet the flag every morning.
So you were ex-military. Do you do it when you hear it?
No,
Well, there you go.
no.
but I have to go back with the whole mentality again. Like you said, Jay, you're 100% correct. But I think we have little to nothing to actually be proud of. And I
Yeah.
think that's the problem.
Plus the song sucks as well.
Yeah, nobody's, even the Americans are not going
Sound
like,
good
"Woo,
like the Star
it's
Spangled
bangs."
Banner? No.
It goes dun 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 dun. Dun. Well, yeah, that's yours, right? That's
It's motivating.
Pumps you
that
up.
does something.
Yep.
Ours, nah, not as much. And the
And it
lyrics
doesn't
are
help that it's in a different language.
crap. Look
What
here.
language is your national anthem in?
Originally French, right?
Um,
La Brabazon. Originally, it's French.
well, we used to do it in Flemish, so
Of course, they made a Flemish version of it, but
so you
originally,
got two
that's the another
versions
thing
here.
with the identity stuff. Could you imagine you having it in Spanish and in English? It's in English. America, English, boom, done. We have identity problems.
That's your diversity right there.
Yeah.
It's you have to look it up and listen to it, Jay. It's just
I got it.
it doesn't quite inspire like yours.
Yeah, that's the one I just pulled up. Let's hear it. Let's see what you're working with. Here we go.
Ooh. Nice.
Noble Belgique, ô mère chérie, à toi nos cœurs, à toi nos bras, à toi notre sang, ô patrie, nous le jurons tous.
So the language he's singing in is what? French?
French, but this is not the standard version. This is more the Ghost Classic version.
This one?
That's all instrumental with no lyrics. That's the only one I could find with the lyrics.
Aye, flip. That's yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
It's 1 minute long?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Tu vivras toujours grande et belle, et ton invincible unité aura pour devise immortelle. Oh, liebes Land, oh, Belgien See.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I see why
Well,
I see why you don't stand.
yeah. That's it's not that inspiring.
That's pretty rough.
That's being nice.
It's weird because even from the national anthem, you can deduce that we got the lamb for free from other countries. That's how depressing it sounds. No?
The Flemish Lion is better, right?
What is it?
The
You got
Flemish
another
anthem.
thing. It's like
Yeah.
the Flemish one. So you have like you have the Belgian flag, and with the black, but you have the Flemish flag as well, and that's a yellow flag with a black lion in it, going like this. So that's the
So
Flemish.
What
It's
colors are your flag now? They're black, white, and orange?
no, black, black, yellow, red. Flagpole black,
What did you
vertical,
say? Is this another
vertical
one?
band.
Jordan, no offense.
That's-
You suck, bro.
Yeah, they do. That's all in Flemish.
This is a lion?
Mm-hmm.
Onze koning kan niet
The lion looks a
schaden.
little spiky.
Yes.
No, it's not a little better. No.
I feel like now, since you've seen the inspiring lyrics we have, we should compare this to the US one, please.
But you showed the one with the red claws. That's not the right one.
Okay, you can twist them as many times you want. There's something about inspiring lyrics. None of them are inspiring lyrics.
No, the flag is not the correct one. It's supposed to be. It has the red nails, and that's not.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does their star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
See, now that can give you goosebumps, makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Even with the best singer, you couldn't do that with ours. No way.
See, suck it, Belgium. Suck it.
I mean, I can show you Maine like that, but that one's go with the black girl. She can blow. But that's yeah. You saw everybody. It was all loud and obnoxious. But once people started hearing that someone was singing it, you could walk down the street anywhere in America, and if you sing loud enough, and people will hear you, and you're not walking and you're standing still, people will stop for it. 100%. 100%. I don't care if you're in the middle of Walmart. It just has. I don't know. It's making me emotional. I don't know. There's just something in it that you could argue and say we're brainwashed for it, but it's like you just pay respect to it. You just pay respect to it. It's that simple.
Well, we don't have a pledge or anything either.
What do you mean?
Like you guys pledge
Pledge
allegiance.
allegiance.
What you do in school.
Pledge allegiance
we-
is shit. That's garbage.
Oh, you don't even have one of those.
Yeah, that's
It's
garbage.
like, yeah, you're in
Yeah,
Belgium. Okay.
Yeah, it's
No, but
That's
it's
a powerful
it is
national anthem.
patriotic, isn't it?
Say again?
Teaching the kids. It is patriotic. It's teaching the kids. Listen, these are the values of the country. That's based on this and
And
whatever.
they're great words. I mean,
And
it's great words.
trying to instill something in them. We don't even have that one. I think they don't even teach the Brabel song anymore. What?
No. They don't.
Nope. I don't teach it anymore.
I didn't even.
Well, you have to realize too that your Pledge of Allegiance, even your Star Spangled Banner, one could argue and say they're both religious, right? They have a belief.
Pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah, but it's belief in citizenship, in being a citizen of that country. I
So you
don't
don't
think
think
that
of
if
God at
you
all with the Star Spangled Banner? At all?
uh, if based on the lyrics, not directly. No,
Really?
I didn't catch it then.
Do you want me to play it again for you?
Yes, please.
Oh,
Then I didn't catch it. Did you catch it, Matthew? I feel like I'm alone in this, saying it out loud that I didn't catch
well,
the
what are you
religious
looking
side
for
of
when
it.
you're
Religious?
trying to
No,
catch
no.
it?
Yeah, of course there's
A
religion.
mention, a mention of, I don't know. Was it mentioned?
What?
Well,
Why does God have to be mentioned for it to be religious?
Oh, I just didn't grab. I just felt patriotism and
So
being
you don't feel
proud of.
anything for God at that point listening to that song?
yeah.
I mean, it got me emotional.
Well, the pledge
Okay.
it
Even though I'm not
actually
a
says,
citizen,
but in the pledge it actually
No,
says
not the
one
Pledge
nation.
of Allegiance. We're
that's
talking
the
Yeah.
about the Star
pledge. We're
Spangled
talking
Banner.
about national anthem. I didn't catch it in the lyrics. It
I,
didn't.
I
No,
think it's implied in the
of course it
lyrics
is. Of
somehow.
course it is. It's just you just don't hear the word God, right? But
Then I'm missing
I
it.
100% hear God in that.
Mm.
Again, it's what you make of it. I don't know. Maybe you got to go back to. I'm trying to think if, like, in school they teach you about the national anthem and the stand and salute. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, you'll go to a game or something, or like a basketball game, and they'll do it. But I just think because you see everybody else do it, it just becomes part of, just part of
It's
it.
more ingrained into your society than it is
Sure,
over, you know.
sure.
And like you said, if you go to a soccer or a football or whatever or some sporting event and they play that and everybody goes like this, yeah, you're gonna if you see it from a teenager,
You're gonna look
you're gonna
weird
emulate
not
it.
doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the only time I think civilians do it here. Soccer match.
Yeah, true.
So they do it.
Then they
Sporting
play it.
event, yeah.
Sporting event, you're kind of acquired to play it. Like any
Yeah, because it's your
competition.
nation that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Or with the Olympics, that's also one where if you manage to get a medal and they play it,
You kind of have to go in attention.
You don't think that?
But-
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard a national anthem and not seen people stop moving. No matter where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, that will stay with me. I like that. I really did enjoy that.
And when you were watching the fireworks, you heard it too on the 4th of July.
Yeah. And it wasn't just the song, it's just the
way
general
it's
feel
sang.
of it.
Yeah, the way it sang and yeah.
Oh no, I like the entire package, the music, and then 99% of the people all stopping and either just standing in place, putting their hands on
Did
their
you
heart.
feel awkward being in America and stopping what you're doing for that?
No, I want that. I felt like cool. Everyone is proud of what they, or most of them are proud of,
So it
of
feels
what
good
they
inside,
are, or
even being
whatever
an
it-
immigrant and
Yes,
standing there?
yes,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, I've never heard it from an immigrant standpoint. It's pretty
Yep.
cool.
I think it has something to do with you feel the emotion in all the people doing it as well.
No, you feel like you belong. You belong to nothing. It's a
Yeah,
bunch of
because nobody's
individuals
paying
here.
attention to you directly. Everybody is focused on that at hand. It's like all your problems it's almost getting on a motorcycle. You can relate. Maddie, you got all the problems in the world. You get on a motorcycle, you hit that throttle, they're behind you. It's the same thing when that song is playing. You could be depressed. You could even be sick. I bet you didn't think about your nose running or your fever or coughing. when that plays. Everything it's almost like you're brainwashed. I hate to use that reference, but it's like that plays and it's like serious mode activated, go. You can be in the middle of fighting somebody. I'm not even joking. I feel like if two people were fighting and that happened and they heard it and they weren't in that moment, they would stop fighting. I truly believe that.
Yours evokes emotion.
Yes.
And
yes,
that's
100%.
Because people feel emotional when they hear it. And that's why I said I think that's something other people pick up on. So it wouldn't be weird to do it, even if you're not an American.
No.
Here it's more. Let me change the channel real quick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Lance, about it. It is spiritual, which I would I would tie that into God. So even though God himself is not mentioned,
it is implied.
Yeah, yes. You could argue that all you want. That's what I feel when I hear it, and I feel camaraderie. I feel freedom. Everything in those 3.5, 4 minutes of lyrics.
A connection to something bigger and more than you are as an individual.
Yeah. That's good. It's good, man. It's good. It's interesting that you like that, though, Jordan. Like, it's somebody else's, but it feels good to you. Huh. I want to say I wish more Americans felt that way, but they all do it for the national anthem. So it's always
I think there's an easy fix for that, too.
What's that?
Blare
it on your radio at every stoplight?
No, that's the national pride thing is not something you can fix. The only way you start realizing how much you do have, or the lack of something you don't have, is make them travel. Come to Belgium. I invite you all.
And then see if you like the national anthem.
Everyone, I see a lot of interviews, and it's always people that go, "Oh, Europe is so great, and the free healthcare, and I love it. Come live here." Yes, I would invite everyone to spend a year overseas and then actually go back to the place they came from. I wonder if they still
that's
have
why
the same
I
mindset.
say the military. That's why I say the military. If you made any branch, Belgium, it doesn't matter, any country, you are required to join the military. And then you will feel a certain type of respect for something. I guarantee you that. I don't give a shit if it's for the enemy, for your comrade. It doesn't matter. I think everyone needs to serve.
But they should make it across the board, females as well.
I don't know about that one.
I do not agree. But I do agree with one thing. The amount of, I don't know if you still have it, but the fact that they do the national anthem thing, I don't know if they still do the Pledge of Allegiance. I feel, in general, just a general feel, that you guys are being taught more history about your country than we are getting fed these days. History-wise, origin of the country.
No, they still get that.
That I
they
can't.
Still get,
not as.
They still get the entire how it started and everything. What they still get that in history lessons.
Yeah, but the basic form. Point me one proud Belgian. I'll call him a liar.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the fact that they still get it.
But if you don't know what the country stands for or where it comes from, you know nothing, so you have nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, but it's even worse. I'm telling you, they do get it in schools, but people they're not proud of it. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, you can't fix that.
You can do. There's not. I mean, even you saying that served, and you don't feel it. I mean, there's not a lot you can do.
If
you're born into it, and like you'd have to start right now. Every time it plays it as a requirement, I hate to say it, but force everybody to do it. And then 50 years from now, it'll just, maybe longer, it'll catch on, it'll, but you got to get somebody, you got to change it though. You got to get a little bit more, I don't know. You got It's not very motivating for me listening to yours. I don't get a lot of that.
But even then, if you do anything that's kind of nationalistic, you're gonna be a neo-Nazi, or you're gonna be anything of the bad things you can imagine. It's gonna be automatically, oh, he's extreme right, oh, he's a racist, oh, he's a bigot, that's automatically. So they kind of want to get rid of the nationalistic feeling.
Because, like you said, it's easier to kind of roll over them than when you enforce mass immigration or stuff like that. And we're already a small country.
And like, if you want people, the mass immigration thing, if you want that to work, you kind of have to root out nationalism, because you would have a bigger pushback. The more nationalistic a country or people in the country are, and proud of their country and the whole shebang, the more pushback you're gonna get if you want to amalgamate the different cultures into that one country. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see any way to fix that, though.
Stop mass immigration.
Yeah, but you can't, in the sense of, look at America and their immigration laws. They're very, very strict. They still have mass immigration.
Yeah, that's why you need.
It's just illegal.
Yeah, mass immigration. Yeah, well, that.
Well, it's the same here, no? Most of them are illegal.
It's just saying you can't fix it then, unless you do build a wall of some sort.
But you can. You can put them on a military plane and shove them out of over the desert.
Yep, I am all for that. If you got 50,000 Mexicans that want to come in, you got 50,000 soldiers ready to fly out of a C-5 or drop out of a C-5 to somewhere where soldiers are now.
You want to be here? Okay. You're going military for 2 to 3 years.
Problem is, I'm too old. I would do it. I would do it. 37.
Not too old, is it?
I think we looked it up, and it was 35. If I
think
remember
they upped the age, no?
Yeah, but if it's true, huh?
How old are you?
37. Can I still do it?
That might be your way in, bro. But if you don't want to come work for me for 6 months, you could always join the U.S. military.
40?
How long if I have to be enlisted for? How many years?
2.
But can I just come over? I'm not even U.S.
You'll
citizen.
be here
and be
too
in your
during
army?
that whole time. So,
But how do you guys gauge my allegiance? Like, I'm here. I'm not even a citizen.
So
I'm
once
willing to
I
fight
couldn't
for
tell
your
you how many
country.
people I went to basic with and that I was stationed with that were not from America. And when it's done, it's kind of like, here's your pass, bro. Like, they don't send you home. It's just expedited.
And you can bring your spouse as well, no?
Yep.
Don't know about the cats, but that's an all.
Cats will be no good.
I'll worry about that. It's fine.
Well, no, you'd be able to bring the cat,
no.
not to basic. She'd stay
No,
home. You'd get
we
money.
can't. We can't bring them. We can't bring them.
So no. Let me tell you what you would do. This is how it would go down. You would sign up, do all the stuff, find a United States. Apparently you could do. You could even get a waiver for the Army at 35. yeah, you could do 2 years. Um, you'd get active duty. You'd get money for your wife being there, and then when you get to your duty station, she would come. So would the cats. Then that's done. And then when that's done, that's it, bro. They'll tell you what you need to do to get your citizenship, and they will expedite that expeditiously. That is a guarantee you will become American. A guarantee.
How do I
How
sign
bad
up for
do you
that?
want it? I'm sure there's some type of enlistment officer somewhere in Belgium for America.
That's interesting. I've never seen it.
There has to be a way to do it. Dude, I had people from Africa. Like, when I'm saying Africa, I'm talking about Nigeria. Nobody in America. I just want to join the service. Okay?
Oh, Brussels. Yep.
There you go.
Wait, you have to apply and hold an immigrant visa first. Wait. That's what combat says. Let's see. I should already have a permanent residence card to join the U.S. military. Non-U.S.
When did
citizens
they
must be
change that?
2018.
That's when they changed it?
Yep.
That sucks. Yeah, when I went through back in '99, bro, I had people from Africa. I had people from Russia. Just speak any fucking English. Just, wow. 2018, man. Well, there you go.
February. See, but that's the other thing. So I ordered the Uber, right? To get me from Newark to JFK, and I won't say that I got agitated. It just, my English isn't great. I would say 5 or 6, right?
No,
and then this Asian
get
dude,
the fuck out of
this-
here.
okay, but this Asian dude picked me up, right? And his English was like this: airport? Yes, I'm going to the airport. I take bags? Yes, you can take my bags. It's like, wait, am I now the tourist, or
Bro,
are
you get
you?
a lot of people like that. You get a lot of people like that. See, how can he do it, but you can't?
Probably because I imagine his parents came to the US, tried really hard, and then
No, but then
especially
you have
if it's
people in New York, bro, that would go to work as a taxi cab driver, and you can't understand a damn word they are saying.
But my mindset is then the immigrants stick together, and because they're still using their native tongue and don't really assimilate as much, that's how it turns out. So they don't really travel
Bro, there
outside
has
of the
to be
group.
something. There has to be something we're not seeing. There has to be. There has to be. You got people coming here like that dude. Has no family. Just brought his family here, and he can't speak any English. How you get here? How you do that? How you
Even
work
the
as
Russian
an Uber
dude,
driver? How do you have a
the
driver's
student.
license?
Dude, but if it's second generation, John, like you're saying, and they stay within the circles, if you're in another country, if you're in the States, even if you're second generation, you're gonna pick up more English than I take bags.
Yeah, I guess so. It kind of depends on what you do, right? No?
He
Realistically, in
deals
the
with
time that we're
people
living.
all day, though. The guy that you were just saying deals with people, and that's all he knows is I take bags.
Yeah, but even then, I haven't used the Uber app all that much. The only experience I have with the app is when I'm in the US, and you can change a lot of options. No conversation. Yes, I want a drink. I would want no music. I wanted this kind of temperature in the car before they even arrive with the car. It's extensive. You can modify your experience to the perfect conditions, I guess. So Maybe he is illegal. I don't know. Maybe it's a student that's studying abroad, and that's the amount of English he knows.
You're
No
not,
idea.
yeah, but you'll find the same thing if you go to New York City, bro. You'll find people that drive taxis that can't speak any English. There has to be something we don't see. There has to be.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of illegals, man. A lot of like switching green cards and stuff like that, fumbling around with papers that we don't see. How many people just come over, make a lot of money the same way we see it in Belgium, Matthew? They come over here, they have a Belgium ID, work for 8 to 10 months, take all the money with them, and then go live out like kings in some other country.
Again,
Keep in
if
mind,
you're not going to support the country you live in, go live in the country you support.
See, look what.
But
David
wouldn't
just
you?
said. It doesn't make sense to me. Look what David just said. I feel like the lawyer that I spoke to. I don't know. There's some missing link somewhere. How
Yeah.
you got these people coming here being taxi cab drivers, truck drivers,
So wait,
Uber drivers?
Turkey, Mexican, every
Making
other
fucking
country,
French
and
fries
its
at
sister-in-law
Walmart.
can get into
Yeah,
the States, but Belgium can.
But why not even look at the employers, right? You're telling me like some big company doesn't have a guy that they can call a governor, a senator. Listen, I need some cheap workforce people. I'm bringing in a container of 20 or 30. Give them papers.
So like modern day slaves.
Well, not modern day
And you
slaves
get your
because they're
freedom.
better off. Yeah,
Like, well,
you get free.
at least slaves are recognized as
People.
people, right?
Well-
What you're trying to do is be invisible and not be recognized. That's the last thing I want to do is be recognized. Don't deport me.
Yeah, but you're still better off. I don't think any of us can really speak on severe poverty. Anything is better, right? If you're living in a shed in the middle of nowhere and you gotta walk 30 miles to get a glass of water, yeah, I'll take an invisible job somewhere in a different country that pays me $15 an hour.
But just a thought. But if it comes down to the nitty-gritty, aren't we all still slaves?
Ooh, look at you.
To who?
To money, to your home, to your car.
Wait, no,
So you're-
that's on you. That's on you.
You're still a slave. You're not gonna survive unless you want to go live under a bridge, and even then you need cash to buy something of food or whatever. Unless you're gonna be very, very good at catching wild rabbits and rubbing two sticks together to get a fire. But I mean, most
I don't know.
of society are still slaves.
I do not agree because you can pick and choose what kind of job you want to do. You decide if you want a mansion with 2 or 3.
You're gonna do the job. Because why? Why are you gonna do the job? It doesn't matter what job it is.
Okay,
You
but
have to get
remove the
money.
money.
So you're a slave
Yeah.
to money. You're
Sure,
a slave.
sure, I
to
agree with
keeping
you
roof
to a
over your
certain.
head. You're a
Okay.
slave to having food on your table.
Okay, well then don't do the job then. You know what you do? You get yourself some nice sandals, you get yourself a spear and some linen cloth, you go back to the woods and you start hunting and collecting berries then.
Yeah.
That's
So
your
and your
that's your
opinion, that's
alternative.
society. We're
No,
all
but that's your
walking
alternative.
with camels with spears. No.
But
Most
you,
of
you have
society
the
are still
freedom
slaves.
to do what you want. You're free. You can pick what if you don't want to do it, you can pick something else. Slavery is you're now in chains and you're gonna do this. I don't think you compare a job you don't like to slavery. It's a little different.
Metaphorically, it's the same thing. Once you own a house, once you owe money to a bank or whatever, actually
You can pay
you're
that
enslaved.
off. You can pay that off.
Yeah,
You-
but
you
you can. Well, you don't get the point. You can pay that off with what? Like
With money.
rocks out of your garden? No,
I get
you
what
can
I
pay
get what
that off.
Maddie's saying. He's
So
saying
you
you're a
work.
slave to the
Yeah.
system. I mean, there's
Yeah.
If you decide to be that way, yes, you have the option to. You're not in shackles. You choose the shackles.
yeah, but you
So-
can't in a modern day society. You can't go out with a spear and hunt fucking berries, bro.
That's true, but I'm saying you're
What
not.
are
as
the
shack-
alternatives? There are no
The alternative-
alternatives.
You can become homeless and live off the street.
Sure.
There's many people that do it. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying slavery is you die in a certain set of tasks that you need to do. You don't had the option to actually start a family as well, I think, and then you die on someone else's property. I think you are right to a certain extent, Matthew. I'm just saying we have way more freedoms now. It's not compared to slavery. If you want less stuff, you're less of a
See, let
slave.
me tell
to
you
the
what
system.
happened, Maddie. So Jordan got a little taste of America, right? Let me tell you what's happening. Jordan got a little taste of America, so he's a little bit more stubborn now. Okay, that's what you're seeing. So what you're seeing is the American in Jordan. So don't be upset at him for who he has become. He's been here for a couple of days, so he will argue now. Okay, he will have a little bit of ignorance in him, and that probably won't go away. But don't fret, my darling. In a couple months, he'll be right back to being good old grumpy Jordan again.
USA. USA.
That reminds me,
the American in him.
It reminds me, I have to go pick a stick, sharpen it, and go out for dinner.
Yep. There we go. And I'm gonna have myself some nice bagels and shish kebabs.
Sweet.
Dude.
Sweet.
Yeah, General Society is walking around in the woods with a sharp stick.
No, but you get my point, right? The more things you want, you become more shackled. That's the way I see it. We're slaves to our own wants, not our needs anymore. That's true,
Jordan.
right? You can see it.
Yeah, you're right.
There you
right,
go. Grumpy butt.
Of course. Yeah, I get it now.
There you go.
That's the American.
See, it takes a little bit longer for the Europeans to get it, but okay.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be it. I mean,
see, but then you have to give him time when he gets here to start loosening up his shackles, so Jordan's not so stubborn and so argumentative. See, as an American, I know how to deal with it. I just kind of let him have his moment. But when he gets here, he'll eventually bring it down. He's just pumped up right now. I tell you, give him 3 months. He's gonna go back.
I got a lot of sugar in me.
It's a lot of sugar from last week. Still burning it off. Yeah. It's crazy how so many people just, you hear about it on the news of how free these people are. They come here, they do all this shit. And when you try to do it yourself, you don't see that, which almost makes it not believable.
And how much of it is going through the legal channels, right? You see the outcome. You don't really know how they got there to begin with. Is it all kosher?
Think about that kid that picked up the bike here, right? You remember the one with the Russian father? Neither of them spoke a damn word of English. Like, neither. And this is a kid that's going to public school. How do you not know any English? Did the people not talk around you?
fresh off the boat.
When you walk down the street in Brussels or Antwerp and you run into somebody that has immigrated there, do they speak Flemish?
Brussels is a hard one.
It's
Immigrants are kind of used to us taking the trouble to try to understand them.
That's true. That's true. I mean, in Brussels, you could
So they
probably
want you
still
to know
survive
their
with a
language?
spear. Yeah.
If possible, yeah.
Oh, how nice. That's cool.
So if you get African, maybe they know a little. They know some French, depending on where they come from.
Sure.
German, yeah, they're gonna speak German or English, of course. I mean,
Broken English. Very broken English, right?
But first off, both of you guys 2 years ago sounded like shit. Your English sounded like Antonis. I couldn't make out
Oh, it's
what you
even-
were saying. So
Yeah, that's true. You
you
helped
guys
us out
were
a
rough,
lot.
man. It was
They usually do a mix of French and English, so it makes it even worse.
Fringlish.
Yeah, well, Fringlish, I've heard it on the plane. like English with a little French accent into it. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I'm experiencing it now. So Sniffles is trying to pick it up. We're doing the whole English thing all the time again.
Yeah, you stopped
So
for
I
a
got the
while.
whole. Yeah, we stopped for a while. Getting complacent, right? You do the entire time at your day job. You get home and it doesn't switch back, so you kind
What
of
happens if
forget.
you went to your job and you just only spoke English? Like if that's all you did, and I forgot Flemish, just like that. I don't remember anything. I'm sorry. Would they fire you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
A lot of jobs here actually require you to be multilingual,
Yeah.
especially in sales. They ask if you can speak French, Flemish, French, English, German. So you can get away with three languages most of the time, but they.
Meanwhile, most Americans just speak English. That's it.
But that's the thing. If you as an American come over here, go into a shop, and you speak English, they're going to reply and they're going to help you in English.
Yep. Broken English, but yes.
Well, not if you go to the French side of Belgium. They might be a little bit more chauvinistic, and they might just answer you in French, and act like they don't understand.
I like
But
that
they're assholes.
French.
So
That's like ranch dressing with a little bit of French. French. I like
French,
that.
Mm.
French
the French,
dressing.
the
Yeah,
French.
that sounds like something you'd put on a funnel cake. Some French.
Yeah,
French
So we
American.
had the funnel cakes, Maddie, and he said it tasted. What did you call it again?
Oliebollen?
Zabolis?
Say it again, Matthew. What did you say?
Oliebollen?
Not
Smaltebolle.
Oliebolle. Smaltebolle. Yep, that's the one.
Smaltebolle.
Yep.
Yeah,
It tasted
the,
exactly
the
like.
thing when we were looking it up, Jay was showing it, and it kind of looks like the same batter and the same consistency. So,
Yeah, it's just fried dough. That's it.
Ebola. No, it's not Ebola. It's Smaltebolle. It's written like this. I think it's like this. Not sure.
yeah.
And what do you put on it? Like sugar? Powdered sugar?
Yeah, powdered sugar. Yep.
So it's the same shit then. So you have that already.
Yeah.
Only it's like
It's like a ball.
in a bowl. That's all.
Yeah, so we have the same thing. It's just called Zeppelis. It's a funnel cake in a ball. That's what it is. Or like a triangular pocket thing, but it's the same thing as a funnel cake. Just more
And they
thick.
have this, like in Italy, they have the zeppoli as well. But I think it's like it's another shape.
Yeah,
it's
they
also
make them in different
kind of the
shapes and
same.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
The funnel
I've
cake
never
just
seen it.
more condensed. That's all.
Well,
So not
churro
good for
isn't.
you. So not good for you. It's just bread fried. That's it.
Like
So
churros
tasty.
isn't that far off either, right?
Churros is like a stick.
Yeah.
It's like pressed out like cinnamon, like a dough. You can just
And then
put
they put
cinnamon and
cinnamon on
sugar
it,
on
yeah.
it and deep fry it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was delicious too. But those are more hard though. Those are pretty stiff. Churros.
Crunchy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not like a funnel cake is. If you were to take mashed potatoes and turn that into a dough, is kind of what it has the consistency of. It's like
Yeah, the inside is still a little. That's
yeah.
what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
So it is the same as mouthball.
A little lighter. That's the only thing, because it's like a small ball is a big ball. Like if you had two, you were like, oh. And the funnel cake, you could probably finish one, Matthew, without any issues.
Not him,
And
he can't have
like
sugar.
oh yeah. Well,
He's
it
gonna
will
have-
finish you.
He can
It will
He can
probably
finish that.
finish
He can
you.
eat the plate that it was on.
Just look at it.
God, you can lick my lips. That's about the only way you're gonna be able to taste it. Lick my tongue. Well, I
Well,
gotta
that
pull this
certainly
string.
looks good. It smells tasty as well. Can I have another sniff? Can I
That's
do a
what Brie
bite?
does at night when she brushes her teeth. She'll give me like those salt and vinegar almonds, and she won't eat it. She just smells my breath. So weird. All right, that was a good stream. I had fun.
Yeah.
Me too. What about you, Barry?
Barry's good.
I think Barry has a fro, so it might be not
I
so
think he
happy with the first
disconnected
topic.
when he connected. All right,
You got
I'll see you
offended
guys.
by the first
Yeah, we might have offended him.
See you guys over in Discord.
See ya.
Y'all
See
stay
ya.
beautiful.
Bye bye.